The Dropshot rig has been around for a long time, and you would think by now there just wouldn't be much more room for improvement on a rig that is so simple and so effective. Well, there's one legendary Japanese lure designer that thinks there is, and I'm going to show you what that product is today. So if you've been around bass fishing in general for the last 20 to 30 years, you know what a Dropshot rig is. It's a very simple rig. It's got a hook and a weight suspended below it, usually about 12 to 18 inches. It's a finesse technique that was refined and fine-tuned over in Japan, and anglers like Aaron Martins and a lot of other guys really made it huge. Here on Lake St. Clair, it is a staple rig that we use literally year-round. Doesn't matter if it's spring, summer, fall, even winter, we use it in some shape or form. With that said, you would think by now we have rehashed, redesigned, reimagined everything there is to know and do with the Dropshot rig. Well, a legendary lure designer that's based out of Ontario, right to my east from where I'm at right now, has come up with a new hook that I think has merit, and I want to share with you guys. So the company name is Nishine Lureworks. It's a really unique hook. It is surprisingly a lot smaller than you would think, and it's got some pretty novel design concepts and ideas behind it. So this little tiny Dropshot hook, it's actually a number 2. And you might be saying to yourself, Justin, that's a little small. And I thought the same thing too at first. I fish a lot of size 1 and 1/0 Dropshot hooks out here on Lake St. Clair. And I messaged back and forth with the designer a little bit, and he pointed out a couple design elements in this hook that he feels is the perfect hook. And hopefully in a little bit I'll catch the fish on here and show you what some of these design elements do and how it hooks the fish up. But the one really important thing is that gap from the point to the eye is just large enough for a 5 or 6 pound smallmouth's mouth to fit into. So the idea behind that is it's big enough to hook those big smallmouth, but small enough that it basically will help wedge itself up against the roof of the mouth of that fish and will not come out. It always gets them in that really hard cartilage type area on the roof of a smallmouth. And so far, my experience with it, I wish I had the footage. If you've been on the channel for a while and you saw my first video back of lake up north, I had a bunch of fish catches on this hook, and I was hoping to use some of that. So I got to catch some more fish and show you how it works again. But it does tend to live up to the claim of where it hooks larger smallmouth really well. Smaller ones still kind of hunt around a little bit, but if you're out here on Lake St. Clair, who cares about 2 pound smallmouth? We want those 5s, 6s, and 7s. Another really key design element to this is actually the coating of the hook. Now, this is a newer coating for us here in the States, but it's been available in Japan for quite a while. Think of it as kind of like a Teflon type material. Makes the hook really, really slick. So as it goes into the fish, it just slides really, really easy. There's a lot of hook producers, all with a Japanese influence, that is using this coating on hooks, and it does help get that barb in deeper into the fish, in my humble opinion. So one more thing you may have noticed about this hook is the eye. It's a really unique design, and it actually helps position that hook so it stays vertical and upright at all times for you. And you just tie a very simple snell knot. And what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to play the demonstration of how to tie the knot video from the designer himself right now. Well, it's a smallmouth, just a little small. Would you believe me if I told you I could see that fish on my live scope, along with like 4 or 5 other ones? Probably not, but yeah, I could see them. Yeah, so that is a bunch of little fish right below the front of the boat, where they're gonna change spots. Right in the top of the mouth there. Oh, that's a big perch. Hello. Well, that's a nice little jumbo. See? Even on perch, man. Right in the roof of that mouth. That's a good perch. Maybe I'll put them in a live well. Maybe I'll catch enough for a meal. There we go. Fish on. I think. Yep, we got a fish. Let's see what it is. We got one. Yeah, a little smallmouth. Spot lock's on. Alright. Whoa, come back here. Well, we're getting bigger. We're getting bigger. Fish on. There we go. That's a little better fish feeling. That's a little better feeling. Not giant, but just feels better. That's a smallie. We're getting bigger. We're getting bigger. I'm gonna net this one because I can't remember what my leader power was on this one or what. Woo! Hello. No, oh, come here. Come on back. Come on back. Ah. I forgot how to net fish, people. Sorry. A little bit better fish. Let's see where he's hooked at. Yep, right at the top of the mouth. Another one of those fish right at the top of the mouth. I mean, the consistency. Oh, come here. Get this for you so I can show you. The consistency of this hook to get fish right in the roof of the mouth. I mean, look at that. I don't know if you guys can see that, but right in the roof of the mouth. That fish was not going anywhere when it's hooked like that. Absolutely not. Here we go. Yeah, just solid, you know, 1.5, 2 pound fish. See if we get another one. So I hope those few fish catches I got for you guys demonstrated to you just the pros of this hook from Nishine or Nishine, however you want to pronounce it. It's another one of the Japanese companies we don't know how to pronounce because we're American. As you can see in that larger smallmouth that I caught here, it really was in that meat of the mouth, that hard bony part of the mouth. The hook got really deep. It requires a pair of pliers to get out nearly every single time. Even on that large yellow perch, it was still in that meaty area. So you really can't argue with that claim. It seems to be holding up to that claim. The only con that I have found with this hook is when using thicker, meatier drop shot plastic options. Like the Erie Darter would be a really good example of where it's just really thick and hard for that hook to handle it. Whoa. But all in all, it's not a bad hook. I think it's going to become part of my arsenal. I do know that there is another hook size or two coming in the near future on this. So if that is a massive, you know, negative for you because you like to fish fatter plastics, stay tuned. I'm sure we'll have it here in the next 6 to 8 months on the market for you guys that like the fatter plastics. I want to thank everybody for tuning into this video, and I want to know down in the comments what you thought of this hook. Is this something that you would be looking at adding into your arsenal for your drop shot fishing? Let me know down in the comments. I'll have a link to the company's website down in the description. I know there is some retailers here in the States that are stocking it right now, but it's a fairly new hook from a very small lure designer that's got a good name over in Japan and is known throughout the industry on producing some really cool and unique products. So let me know what you thought down in the comments. And I want to thank everybody for tuning in. As always, tight lines, happy casting, and we'll see you in the next video.